Wagwan Reggae Boys fans, how are you guys doing today? I have some special guests on the panel today, and I appreciate every single one of you guys joining. Man like Coach Mins, bless up. I really appreciate you come and join the platform with us. Big up, welcome. Man like Demo J,
Big up, big up,
really
big up.
appreciate you coming on, and none other than Halftime TV, one of the legend in the game. Big up to
Legend,
you,
wow.
brother. How are you guys doing?
I've outdone myself this time. It's good to be here. Always fun time talking football, right? As well as with these brilliant minds. It will be fun. We assure you, the viewers, that. So please stay till the end.
Straight up.
Yeah. Coach Minzy, the best round here. How you doing, Coach Minzy?
Yeah, Ryan and the viewers out there. It's a pleasure to be here. Big up to Halftime TV, Demo J. Yeah, man, we are just here to do what we do, talk sports, you know what I mean?
Dima, how you feeling
Yeah,
right now?
man, feeling good, feeling good. Not too optimistic about what we're going to talk about. I'm probably the only one, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
All right. Halftime TV. Let us tackle the big one. Leon Bailey signed the contract, and Reggae Boys fans feeling so good at this moment to see our superstar Leon Bailey to sign the contract. How you feel about that?
Well, I feel extremely great to say the least because, as you alluded to, Reggae Boys, superstar Leon Bailey, he is the biggest name on our roster. So him signing the contract is setting a really good precedent for the rest of players who are to come, both in Europe, in the MLS, as well as in other parts of the world who are looking to represent the local team. Now, if you go through CONCACAF, there are standout players who they're the players that you look to in each team. So if you go to Costa Rica, it's Navas. If you go to the United States, it's Pulisic. If you come to the Reggae Boys, our player that we look to is Leon Bailey. And him signing that contract, it goes through leaps and bounds. And it is more, how do I put this? It's more figurative, literal in all the senses. But in having said all of that, it's more symbolic than anything else because of what it means for the Reggae Boys going forward, considering as well his age and the age of most of the players that we have in this current setup.
Coach Minzy, you're one of the second vlogger to break it when Craig Butler put it up and Leon Bailey signed the contract. How you feel about Leon Bailey? We're definitely going to see him in a Gold Cup. Once him fit and ready to go. How you feel about Leon Bailey?
Yeah, it's a good feeling, you know, as Halftime alluded to, it's one of our top prize players and one with a lot of quote unquote burden to bear for the team. So to have him out of the team would have been devastating for the team. So for him to sign that contract and you know, it's a positive look going forward. So yeah, man, we just feel good that Leon Bailey put pen to paper and forward still. You know what I mean? Because he's an important piece to the puzzle of us, you know, doing well at the Gold Cup, World Cup qualifiers coming up. So it's a good look.
Timo J.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I'm not over the moon or anything because like I would have said on your stream some time ago, I said that he was going to sign the contract. He was just going through some things with the agent and he didn't read through everything yet. And I also said on your stream that Antonio was he didn't read through all of the contract yet and he didn't sign at the time. So I was expecting him to sign. But the thing is, for me personally, Leon Bailey is never the issue. He's always Craig Butler, and he's always into some mix-up and things. So, in that aspect, I'm glad that he signed and everything come together because we know what Craig Butler is like, and you know to get it done and playing for Jamaica now, then you know over the moon.
Most definitely, as you said, Craig, big up to Craig, and you know, probably watching this video or something. But the great thing, the great news, we see Leon Bailey sign and we get him pen to paper. So we're just looking forward to see him to start to produce. And whenever the team call up, we want to see Leon Bailey in it because it has been ups and downs for Leon Bailey. He's a rhythm player. And once him can find him rhythm, once we can see Leon Bailey play 3-4 game, and it'll be good to see Leon Bailey in Japan because not only we're going to play one game, we're going to play two. Unfortunate, we one game against Japan cancel, but we still give thanks. Still, though, we more have 2 games to prepare for. I know a lot of us disappointed, but we just have to everything come with disappointment, and we just have to see how we work on that. So looking against what you could tell me about we see you do a video on Kevin Stewart, former Liverpool player playing for Blackpool. He have an excellent season. Coach, what could you tell me about not putting you on the spot? What could you tell me on the former Liverpool midfielder?
Well, things are looking good where Kevin Stewart is concerned. He would have gotten his documents all in. They would have been vetted, and he would have fulfilled the necessary requirements. And the documents will be put together, sent off to Jamaica, so that the whole passport thing and citizenship thing can go through. You know what I mean? So it's a good look. So it's one of the positions that we are actually struggling to find a person who can hold down and do pretty well in that position, which is the central defensive midfield. He's one of the persons that can play that position. I don't think he is the ideal player, but I think he has something to offer. So once his papers go through, then I would believe that he should get a look in and see how best he can assist the team in going forward.
Hold up. What do you mean he's not the ideal person? Listen, you see, as a guy who is a Liverpool fan and who has watched who has watched under 23 football for Liverpool for many years to come, I can tell you that as long as Kevin Stewart come to play for Jamaica, there will be nobody better. Nobody better. And the man composure, the man composure on the ball is next to none. He doesn't give away possession cheaply, and he can pick a pass like a quarterback. So listen to me, there will be no. You remember Jeremy and Hugh? The man will be better than Jeremy and Hugh in picking a pass. I am telling you this. So take it from me.
We are not here to challenge that sort of discussion tonight.
All right.
Or this evening, but I mean, we have had better than him out there that would have scouted. That's why I made that comment. So it's nothing against the Liverpool, you know what I mean?
Fine.
Manchester fine. United people and Liverpool, you know.
No man, he's a good player. No joke, he's a good player.
Yeah man, I know he's a good player, but when I say ideal, probably it's incorrect choice of words. But I believe that there's better out there than him in that position that the Reggae Boyz would have been scouted.
Give me a name.
What I'm trying to say.
Give me a name.
Isaac Aiden.
Oh yeah, all right, fine. All right, you
okay.
Yeah, most definitely. And Kevin Stewart is a good player, and good to see he get him documents because really need someone in that midfield, especially to shield that backline to start the game. Once we have somebody, we can start the game for take the ball from the defender them and start to spray it. That's what Raven Morrissey would do for us, but we need to see Raven Morrissey further up the field where he can offer more to the forward, to Shamal Nicholson and all of these players. But Mikel Antonio is the next player. We get him, we sign the contract. Great news, get him Jamaican passport. How you guys feel about that? Let's go to you first, Dimoji.
Listen, I heard that news very early in the morning from Oral Tracy because I listen to that program, Sports Explosion, every morning as soon as 10 o'clock hit. So he actually got the news and he broke it live on the air. And I was like, what's the how him get the news before the JFF? I mean, I see nothing break and stuff. But I mean, when he broke it, then I saw everybody start to, make videos and stuff. And so, I mean, like I said before, in the last video that I did with you, he had said that he was going to sign the contract, but his agent didn't read through all of it yet, didn't get to vet everything. But he was going to vet everything, and it was all positive for him to sign and play. What I heard this morning from CM Sports Explosion and Oral Tracy was that while we were looking for Antonio to come for preparations for the World Cup qualifiers, he's saying that one of his sources said we might have him for the Gold Cup. So, who's to tell what's to come? So I'm just waiting to see. I'm very excited because he can partner Andre Gray up top. Listen, we're not getting into the Shamar Nicholson and Andre Gray thing. He can partner Andre Gray up top and they can work wonders. So that's my take.
Yeah, man, we're hoping to have him for the Gold Cup. It's a positive where that is concerned.
Most definitely. How you feel after MTV?
Oh, okay. I think it's definitely a positive. Getting him for the Gold Cup will be even better as well because, as we have discussed in the past, the Gold Cup is the preparation, in my opinion, for the ultimate goal, which is to get to the World Cup. So, getting him in and around that squad come the Gold Cup would be to the benefit to the squad, to the players that are there, to the team, just to know that, okay, this is Antonio, the personality he has, the level that he's played at, and what he also brings to the field of play. The players will understand more about how he plays, how he wants the ball to be played into him, and that sort of thing. And it will build the chemistry going into the World Cup qualifiers, because in competitions or whatever, you need chemistry if you're to progress through the different rounds. And it only means good things for the Reggae Boyz team. And as I said before, the sooner the better. I have nothing negative to say towards that. It's all positive in my opinion.
Most definitely. I'm super excited. I just hope Mikel Antonio can just come and play some game for us. Hope him can keep fit whenever we need him. And the next thing too, see, get all of these players, we have Leon Bailey, we have Ravel Morrissey. The more we can get, the better player them come and play for Jamaica. That open up door for more English-based player to come and play for the Reggae Boyz. We just need to see Calvin Lewin, Mason Oldgate. Yeah, just come home, bro. Just come home. We know you want to try to play for England, but we encourage more English-based players. Just come home. Just come home and just play for the local island. Curry chicken, oxtail.
I'll tell you something. Mason Holgate is even further down the pecking order now than before, because with the emergence of Ben Godfrey, he's been a revelation throughout this season, and I think if anyone, as things stand now, he is a big favorite to make it into this England Euro squad, especially since Trent Alexander-Arnold is out. It's between Ben Godfrey, Jesse Lingard, and James Ward-Prowse.
Ben White.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Ben Godfrey is ahead of Ben White. If you get what I'm saying. So, so he is in and around that mix, and he is really young as well. So, as a result, having said this, they will be looking to build with him going into the future, especially tying to the young set of defenders that they currently have. John Stones, Harry Maguire, these are still fairly young players, and Mason Holgate is just in and around that age group as well. So
Joe Gomez coming back soon.
I can't see a way in now for Mason Holgate. So his best bet would be to come home, as you said.
I agree.
Ever hear your parents say, whenever the soup is hot, wait till it cool, then you drink it. And whenever you see a player on him knee like this, going through a difficult time, not making the ink, this is the time when you go and press people and say, listen, we have the World Cup qualifier coming up. You have opportunity to play in the World Cup. We have the Gold Cup coming up. You have opportunity to play international football. Whenever your career over, international football is really important, especially in England. Why you think most of these English-based players come over? Because it really helped them. The King, Marlon King, said it really help if they to get a sponsor and all of these, if they to get a job on TV. People want international football is very important to have on a resume. Yeah. But let us jump in it. We warm up 15 minutes, so that's a very good warm up. Let us
just before you move, just answer the Antonio thing before we move. Somebody there asks if you have any updates on Antonio.
Mikel Antonio?
Yeah. So just update you. How you pronounce the name? Cowan Sharp. I hope I didn't butcher your name. So Antonio has signed the contract, and we're hearing that he should be good to go for the Gold Cup. So that's where we're at in terms of updates for Antonio. So that's awesome news for Jamaica. Yeah, right.
Yes, guys, we have our next special guest on the channel, Formula Sports. How are you doing, brother? Welcome. Thank you very much to take the time out to come on the show. How you doing?
Big up.
Yeah, man. Big up to everybody on the channel, man. Thanks for having me, Ryan. Thanks for inviting me. I heard a very interesting discussion about Kevin Stewart. I kind of siding with coach on this one, boss. Kind of siding with coach on this one.
You hear that, Demo?
Yeah, but no, I agree. Isaac Hayden is better.
I think Demo conceded, man.
No, man.
Yeah.
In terms of not even I mean, obviously Hayden is better, but I not really so rate Kevin Stewart. You know,
How often you watch Kevin Stewart play football?
I've watched him a couple of times this season.
Not enough.
Well, judging by his stats and judging by the times that I have seen him, I don't. How many times have you seen him?
Ryan. We're not take over the show. But wait, what stats? What stats you judge him off?
Well, for instance, when you look at the stats and when you look at the eyeball test, right, his passing is not the best. So
what's not the best?
His passing.
Yeah. As in, what percentage? What stats you have to say it's not the best?
If I am not mistaken, it's in the low 70s.
Low 70s for a CDM?
Yeah.
Playing for Blackpool?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I've watched Kevin Stewart play for under 23s go right up to where he is now. And he should not have been playing under 23 football. It's just because Liverpool is a top team. And he's played first team football for Liverpool before. But just because of how good Liverpool team was, he could have break into the team. Kevin Stewart is a brilliant passer off the ball. And he's a very composed footballer. So, yeah.
I will give you.
Yeah.
Let's be real. He's a very good, he's an okay footballer. I'm not
for Jamaican standards, boss.
But hold on, Demo. Listen, our standard iron, you see the bar, the Reggae Boyz setting. Quality player we getting in us. So listen, Demo, he's a very good, he's an okay player. But when I say it's difficult to break in the Liverpool team, yes, we know that. But if Kevin Stewart is good, he could have played now the championship.
Ryan.
Why he has to go so far though?
Listen, just move.
Yeah, but
we have to ask a question. No, we ask a question. Is that good with Demo? I see Kevin Stewart. If he's that good, why he have to go way down in League One? Why not in the championship play for a very good championship team?
I mean, the man get the opportunity for play. It's playing time. Like
no,
at the time, the man just leave the academy. Like, what do you mean?
No, all right. Look,
let me tell you. Go on, Ryan. Go on.
No, look at Elliot.
Just saying, go on.
Go on for it, family.
Man, say look at Elliot.
No, I mean, look, from what I've seen of the player, I'll give you that. He's good on the ball. He's very composed on the ball. I'll give you that.
That's what we need right now for Jamaica.
Yeah, but his tackling is not the best either. Right? It's rash. It's not well.
Thiago Alcantara's tackling is not all that for Liverpool.
Yeah, but
the mood of that for Thiago.
Yeah, but Thiago Alcantara is not a number 6.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. He plays number 6 for Liverpool and he makes rash tackles. But I'm saying to you, now that Kevin Stewart
but that's different. He was forced to play number 6. It's not his natural position.
We're not go down the Liverpool. We're not go down the Liverpool rat hole. Just continue.
Let's be honest to ourselves, Demo. Thiago Alcantara, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Bro. Yes, he can play in the number 6, but as a holding midfielder to be a number 6, you have to be careful. Giving away cheap secret. That's the same thing that some of the Reggae Boyz play. We're not going to call them name, but you have player when they're playing around the 6, the number 6. You have to be careful or you give away a foul.
What are we arguing right now?
No, what I'm saying, well, I know Formula say he give away cheap free kick and all of these stuff.
Are we saying that Kevin Stewart cannot play CDM for Jamaica?
Yes, he
No,
can.
I'm
I
not.
agree
I'm
with
not
you.
saying.
let's
Well,
move
I
then.
know, well, I agree, but it's a CONCACAF is a rough football, you know. So he has to know what he doing. He cannot give away cheap free kick around the edge of the back. It can cost us. So always saying he's not the greatest, but for Jamaica, he's good. He's good.
Look,
Coach is this. Didn't I already agree to this? Like, why we still arguing?
Let's move on. You have something to say for me like before we move.
no, I was just saying that, look, he seems to have watched the player more than I have, but from what I have seen of him, look, his positioning is good, right? I'll give him that.
Yes.
His positioning is good. He's very good at positioning himself in the right areas at the right time and reading the game well. I'll give him that.
Compose on the ball.
Yes, and he's very good on the ball. He moves very well with the ball. He's good with the ball at his feet. I'll give him that. But his passing and his tackling is not the best, right? His challenges are not well timed, right? He's rash and him just, he goes to ground very easily also sometimes as well. So,
This coming from watching 2 games.
I never said I watched 2 games.
Oh,
I said I watched them a couple of times.
Well, that's 2.
Even I watched him in the playoffs as well. Right? If you want to get an idea, I mean the playoffs, he wasn't that good in the playoffs, to be honest with you. He gave away the ball a lot of times in the playoffs with bad passing, man. Right, I'm not saying the player is bad, but
yeah. So let me just end it here. All I am saying is whatever Kevin Stewart offers is good enough to play for Jamaica. That's all I'm saying.
Sure. I just don't want him as a starter. That's all.
Wow. All right, let's move.
Let's move on. We're glad we get that. But Japan game and that really affect a lot of the fans. Them really was looking forward to see 3 game, but we still have 2 games for the preparation. But we want to say this about the JFF. No, simple thing in life really matter. You do the easiest stuff in life, you get you in life 90% of the time. You guys can agree with me, right? And you're traveling to Japan, you must know the protocol, what the Japan FA or the Federation need or what the thing you need to get into the country. No.
Disagree.
Clearly, what you say, disagree?
Yeah, but continue, make your point.
Clearly, the Jamaican Federation, they didn't on the same level playing field, both with the player them and management. No, yes, the Japan FA said, listen, it's our mistake. We should have tell them.
Exactly.
But Demo, this is the time at this moment, current time, with the Jamaican program. Yes, the Japan FA didn't tell them, but clearly they should either look it up or ask the Japan FA what we need. No, it's just a reality, bro.
You see this thing about consistently blaming the JFF for stuff. How can the Japan FA come out and say to you, oh, I'm sorry, it's my mistake. We should have told you that you needed to do this one specifically. And then you're going to turn around now and still blame the JFF. It's not like they didn't do the test, They just did the test the wrong way. They got both the nasal and the mouth swab. So how can you now come around and blame the JFF for doing this when the Japan FA come out and already said it's our fault? And you still want to blame the JFF?
No, I'm not saying I'm blaming them, but what I'm saying, Dima, what the JFF should do as a federation, they could ask.
My question is,
do mouth and nose.
I disagree, but I'm not gonna have this argument. I don't want to seem like the one where I go against everything, but continue.
It actually good for Ryan show though.
The Jamaican Football Federation, the Japan Football Federation, they obviously should have indicated from the get-go that, okay, this is what is expected of you. However, the Jamaican Football Federation, the onus still needs to be placed on them to cross the necessary T's and dot the I's before they pack their bags and went out on their journey. So that's just what I have to say in that regard.
Formula, what you have to say about that?
Look, I see both sides to the argument. I can't lie. I see both sides to the argument. You know what the problem is? The real problem is that it's difficult to give the JFF the benefit of the doubt, right? When there is a pattern of foolishness going every time we're going on tour, right? It's just difficult to give the JFF the benefit of the doubt. Look, it's strange to me that Japan took responsibility for this, because the only way I could understand that is if, for instance, the JFF made inquiries and Japan gave them wrong information. But that's not my understanding of what took place, because if that indeed happened, the JFF would have said that right from the get-go. The JFF would have been come out and said that if that actually happened. So I don't think that actually happened. And my thing is that I agree. If you are going to a country, right, to play them in an international friendly, especially in this time, especially in this age, you're supposed to do your due diligence, man. You're supposed to do your due diligence and find out the exact requirements of what is required of you to enter a particular jurisdiction. So it's strange for me that Japan took some responsibility for this, and they didn't take all responsibility from my understanding of it. They took some responsibility for it.
I can agree with Halftime, and I can agree with Demo, I can agree with Ryan, I can agree with Formula. This is my view on it, though. In terms of Japan taking the responsibility, I believe as the host, the persons who actually initiate the whole negotiation of a game, I think they would want to take from a managerial standpoint, will take the blame of the organizers of the game. But again, you still have to do your checks because everything is online. They could have gone, that's the JFF, they could have gone and seek out the information, because it can't be a case where, if it were a case where all the players did not do the same test, then we would have a problem. But one fraction did the correct test and the next fraction did the incorrect test. So I'd want to zoom in on both federation where that is concerned.
That's fair. We can take that.
Most definitely. Most of us agree, Demo. Most of us agree, but what I'm saying, our federation should do the check because we're going to freedom country. That's all I was.
No, but as Formula Sports say, is it make it like most Jamaicans, because there's a pattern. We just want to just, let's flag the JFF because this is what usually happens. I'm not for that, I'm not, because you're a leopard, they can't change your spot. I'm not for that. I believe that people can change. You get me? And so not because there's a pattern means that it's going to always be like that.
That analogy is a wrong analogy.
That was a really bad analogy.
No. They say leopards can't change their spot, so I'm saying I don't believe it.
Right. So why use that one? So why use that one?
No, because it's an analogy. I believe that leopards can change them spot.
You can't use that one. Use that different.
No, coach, nothing wrong with the analogy, Nothing wrong with the analogy,
It is wrong.
It's just it can't applicable. It's wrong because you just can't see it applicable to the JFF.
No, that's Jamaican mentality. That's what I tell you. You can't see things like that.
It's not only the Jamaican mentality. It's a human being thing where we like excuses, we like scapegoats. So even if in a team, if things aren't going right, I remember one point this season, everyone was blaming Thiago. In Chelsea, everyone was blaming Georgina, including myself. In Manchester United, everyone was blaming Fred. So we like excuses. We like someone to put the blame on. So it's not unique to Jamaicans only, for lack of a better term. It is just a human thing, and until we get away from that, I think then that's the only way we will have an objective viewpoint on most situations. Because as you mentioned, because JFF has a history, every time something pops up about their incompetence or that has the slightest hint of them being incompetent, then we're quick to jump down their throats and that sort of thing. But they spread their bed in the first place. So it's a reputation that they made for themselves, which results in what's happening now. So if we are here, for example, myself, as soon as I heard that that there was an issue with the players getting into to Japan, I'm like, okay, JFF. And then, but I didn't do a video on it. I didn't do anything. I decided that I was going to do my research. But the mere fact that that was the first thing that came to my mind, it says something about it.
It really does. It really does. It really does.
It says something. Yep.
Demo, you rate this JFF administration, boss?
Listen, I just think that they get a lot of stick. I think that as all federations, they're going to have good and bad. I'm sure some of the blunders
Hold on. Before you continue, you said they get a lot of stick. Do you think they deserve a lot of the stick that they get?
Is it reasonable?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I was going to. So of course, some of them, like, you know, in terms of player relations and people now get pay and time and all of that stuff, warranted. But they have done good stuff. They're the ones who got these games and they've done other stuff too. At this point in time, I think that all the players got the money with them did owed. And they've done stuff and people seem like they don't want to give credit. Like, I bash the JFF all the time, the social media handles and all of that stuff. I bash them and stuff like that, jersey sales and whatever. But sometimes we go overboard, and as something go wrong, click JFF fault. And I just can't go with that agenda. I just can't do it.
I think a lot of the bashing too has led to improvements, because I'm seeing improvements on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
So probably the bashing that we've been doing hasn't been in vain.
That's fair.
Exactly. Because even today I was on Twitter, because I turned the notifications on for the JFF posts, and I think they made 4 or 5 posts today alone. With the team training, with the goalkeeper making some saves, with the upcoming game, etc. So a lot of the bashing is warranted because we're seeing actions being done towards it. So obviously they realize that they've been doing something wrong, and they're acting on that shortcoming rather than saying, okay, this is just bashing for exactly. So it's not just bashing for the case of bashing. It's bashing because, okay, there's a gap there that needs to be filled. Right. And we're seeing that gap gradually being filled as things stand now.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll take that.
And there's also a need for improvement. And not as an administration, as an entity, I don't think you can see everything. And with these outside influences, they can give a few ideas here and there. And then you never know, you might become one of the world's best organizations. So, I mean, I don't like have to do the whole criticism or hardcore criticism, but sometimes it is warranted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can agree on the point where Demo is saying the hardcore criticism it can be very, very tough. Sometimes they really take a lot. But again, it is there to assist, and it is for improvement.
Before you speak, Formula, not to cut you off, but I'm not sure if any of you guys did art, but I did art up to the Cape level, and I was told by my art teacher is if you're standing too close to the painting, you'll never see the true beauty of it. And that is what's happening now with the JFF, because they're in there, they're inside, they're basically at the screen of everything that's happening. So it's kind of difficult for them to pinpoint everything that's going wrong or that's not happening. Probably they're doing well, who knows? But the focus is being played on probably one particular aspect, and the other area,
right?
And the other areas are being neglected. And us as individuals that are standing away from the painting, we're getting a better vision of the bigger picture. And as such, we're able to pinpoint, okay, probably over there needs a little bit more shading, over there needs a tip of the fan brush or something of that sort.
I don't think there's ever been criticism of, I've never seen criticism of the JFF that is unreasonable, to be fair. I personally have never seen it. Every time when you look at every single major issue that has taken place over the last couple of months or even years with this JFF administration, right? I think that I don't think there's ever been a time when they have been right, in my opinion, or on the right side. That's just and I don't mean to be, I hate to say that. I don't take pleasure in saying that, right? But I just don't, me no know. When this federation lost me, when its leader, Mike Crickets, did an interview on Sportsmax in the wake of the Damian Lowe tape gate, right? He did an interview and he said some things in that interview that he completely lost me, man. He completely lost me. So I don't know. I think every time this federation has been embroiled in something, them always
most definitely, and we appreciate the work where the JFF put in. They're doing some good thing and they're going the right way.
They're trying.
We want to see them consistent. We don't want to see this month to praise in the JFF. They take 10 steps forward and then next month they take 8 steps backward. No, that's how you're going to be successful. That's how things going to get better. When the team get called up, we need to see more interview from the player. Them sit down interview on the YouTube channel. That make the fans know to get a little bit about the player. Picture in the Reggae Boyz shirt. We know we can go on a website and can find such and such picture for the player. When they go in at the national team, they pose up, see interview coming out to know about the player them, especially the
new ones. Yeah, the new ones.
Yes, it's important. You understand? And then
I tell you something, Ryan. Not to cut you again. I think I'm doing this too often, but I was looking for a photo today of Rabel Morrison to put in what to expect video from the Reggae Boyz versus Serbia, and I could not find a picture for the life of me with Rabel Morrison in the Reggae Boyz jersey. I saw one. It was almost as if someone took the picture from a television screen, and
yeah,
and I'm like, okay, what's happening here?
Yeah.
so it's stuff like these. Other federations, as soon as the players they come into the national setup, they have their photo day where each of the players they go out and they set up a screen behind them and they take a picture. Okay, this is Coach Minze to the team. 27 years old, 6'5". They say kind of give you an insight of the player alias or that sort of thing. You get me? You don't have to go into full detail, but just an overview to say, okay, this is a new player into the squad. This is his strength.
Represent and all these things.
Exactly, and then it makes it easier for content creators like myself and everyone on here, because then when we need a picture to put on our thumbnail, we can easily grab one of those pictures. No, I have to be going on the players' Instagram, and even on Robert's Instagram, I still couldn't find anything. So I ultimately had to just give up and just find one with Devon Williams and say, okay, I'm just gonna use this one.
Yeah.
You're perfectly right, man.
And the honesty with the person who deal with the social and stuff, he said he's not accustomed to that. He's trying to come out in comfort zone because old fashioned. He's an old fashioned, and we like the honesty with that. But if they can get someone more younger, we can do all of these stuff. Especially when I look at the Reggae Boyz YouTube channel, a nearly 2 year last day update one video on it. So when the player like these they sit down and do a little interview and stuff, it really helps. Especially where I try to sell the product. This is where we are talking about marketing. The product is a product. The player them is a product. That's what he has to use to sell people. Why you want digital to sponsor? Why you want water to sponsor the national team? These are some of the local simple things. As I said, the simple thing is matter. Demo, believe you me, every single day I sit down with someone and say, this is how I want my channel, this is how I want my thumbnail to look come next year. I'm preparing. I'm not waiting to the nick of time. That's the problem we have with some of us. No, Demo. I'm not. I'm just saying.
I'm not say nothing, boss.
And you shake your head like, you understand? They kind of true me. But as me I said, Demo, I really appreciate the JFF for trying. And me sit here in this setting and I said, you know what? They are trying to get 3 games. How many international teams getting 3 games? And I say, you know what? I have to be more cautious how I talk about the JFF because I really see they are trying. When people bash you, it really helps. Sometimes people say, oh, Ryan, you made a mistake. Sometimes I want even mistake and people then point it out. You understand? It is cruel. So it's not the JFF alone get bashing. Us get bashing as vlogger too. You understand? Why you think people love coaches decks? Because and formula and because they bring it credible. They're not coming with false information, and when you come with false information, you're going to get bashed. And that's the same thing that the JFF. But anyway, big up to the JFF. Appreciate everything you guys has done for the nation, and it's just continuity we need to see. But we're going to move away from the JFF, gentlemen. You know, we don't want to.
What a build up.
By the way, Ryan, I see some comments in your comment section asking about Tariq Magee. Let the people know what happened with Magee, you know.
Tariq Magee is not in Japan, guys. He's not in Japan. Some flight arrangement. This is the next thing. JFF said they don't know what happened. Why Tariq Magee not in Japan?
Oh, you never hear the story, Ryan?
I heard he was in the airport for 3 days. I'm not sure how true that is. That's the information that I received. And he ultimately decided to return home.
Coach saw my video on it, right? Comical. The story goes, right? The story goes that the agent for the Reggae Boyz has come forward and take responsibility for it.
Yes.
What they're saying is that basically the player arrived. There was nothing wrong with his test, right? But what happened when they arrived with the other players? All the others, there were issues with their test, so they had to go back to England. The story goes, according to the agent for the Reggae Boyz, that they did not want to send Tariq Magee alone to Japan because he's too young to be in a
unsupervised.
Right?
He's a minor.
The guy is 21 years old. We're talking about boss.
But he must be a minor. That's the only way I can see through that reasoning.
The man is a professional. Well, he's a professional footballer in Belgium, a foreign country. He stayed nearly 3 days in the airport by himself, you know. Asleep in the airport. So which one better? And staying at the airport by himself, or I'm stay at Japan in our hotel by himself.
He wasn't too young to stay in the airport, I presume.
Trust me, man. So what happened? Yeah, what happened?
Continue, family.
He didn't want to go back to Belgium because it would have required a 2-week quarantine. And just letting the fans know or asking in the comment section. He didn't want to go back to Belgium because it would have required a 2 weeks quarantine and basically ruined any chance of him being able to play in Japan. So he came back to Jamaica. That's what the agent, that's according to the agent. Don't remember his name off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
Clark is his last name.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm not going to be bashing the JFF and Mr. People as the JFF lost him on purpose and listen, for me, I agree. I don't think sending the man to Japan in that type of culture is wise. And somebody just said in the comments as well, I don't think it's wise. That's a totally different culture in the boss.
Man.
Hold on.
May I stop you?
Yeah, I'm going to stop it too. Because you're acting as if he's going to be wandering through Japan on his own.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure as soon as he gets to the airport, they're going to pick him up.
You see how? Wait, hold on. You see how we stay as people. Just the other day, some players were left in Saudi Arabia, and everybody have bashed the JFF. How to leave the people in Saudi Arabia and so
I didn't bash.
A lot of Jamaicans did it. They left the guys in Saudi Arabia and all of these things, and the culture is so different.
No, this is a different situation because a contingent or a delegation was already in Japan. So why couldn't he go?
But they said they don't want to send the man there by himself unsupervised.
But all right,
Why? He's a
let me ask.
He's
professional
a
player.
grown
He's
man.
not a
He's
let me
minor.
a
add to that.
grown man.
Let me add to
The,
that.
the ballers in Saudi
Plus,
Arabia were grown people too, and everybody could
Yeah,
saw them
but
leave
Yeah,
plus,
early
but
though.
here's the
if
thing.
you've
Here's the
been
thing,
on a
you know.
long
plus
flight,
It's
if you've been on a long flight, you'll understand. Okay,
mm,
from Jamaica to Japan is what? 19 hours roughly. 17, somewhere 17 and 19 hours, give or take. Right?
yeah,
If he
thereabout.
flies from wherever he was leaving from, by the time he gets to Japan, there would have been someone there to receive him and to take him towards
Of
the rest of the
course,
players.
that's the
So
point I'm
essentially,
making.
the reasoning is he isn't mature enough, or you don't trust him being on a plane by himself, because he will only be on a plane. He won't be wandering in Japan or anywhere else. As soon as you are received or you come through the baggage area, baggage claim or whatever, there will be people there to receive you. And I'm pretty sure black, green, and gold, or the yellow tracksuit or whatever, it's very, very hard to
Even
miss in
people.
Japan. Hello, good evening.
Yeah,
So it's very, very
my
hard
take
to
on it, you
miss.
know.
Even.
Hold on,
My take
Palmer.
on
Hold
it.
on, Palmer. Hold on. Make him finish. Make him
Oh,
finish.
Yeah, so that level of reasoning, it is baseless in my opinion, and preposterous to say the least.
Yeah.
Because if you have kids traveling from Jamaica to New York by themselves, you just put your kid on the plane. I know it's 4 hours, but still, they only need to get to the airport, get on the plane, and then as soon as they come out of the plane, there's someone to receive them. And this would have been the same situation. We are
not
not
necessarily,
saying
bro. No.
My question
we
halftime.
listen. We're not
Halftime. My question
expecting.
is that.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the thing, you know.
My
All
question
right,
is that.
the agent
hold on,
would
Just
Sister.
represent.
Hold on.
Palmer.
Yeah,
I want to ask
Come
a
on.
yeah.
question. My
Mm.
question is that. Did the agent contact the powers that be, the federation boss, or is other Iraqi members? Did they make contact with them, telling him that he's gonna send home the player rather than send him to Japan? That's a question that I want to be answered, you know. Because I'm not blaming the JFF in this part. I want to know why the agent would make a decision like that. Because Blair
Remember, no,
Turcott was
coach.
there. He had the correct test. Both of them could have gone. Based on what the
Yeah,
report
but remember, no,
says.
coach. Some of them didn't get to go on the trip. So as the agent, you know, they act as the player's legal guardian, because a young player. As a parent, you live your
Legal
ward in
guardian.
the.
Lee is an
21.
No,
adult
it's
boss.
not like that. It's not like that. I mean, coach. I mean, like you say, a child got college. You still have lecture them look over him. You say agent.
Better you say head of
you're young.
delegation. Better you say head of delegation.
Coach, just listen to me. As a parent, if you send your young adult child in the care of an agent, you can't send him one to Japan, then talk English or Japan, you know, coach. Right? Most of the team didn't get to go to Japan. So it's quick thinking on the agent part. You have to look at it from that angle as well, you know, coach. You have to look at that angle. Because if you hear so the other players won't get to travel, you can't just send Terry Maggie him one to Japan. Nobody not there to receive him as what halftime TV was saying. Because no one
The
get to
other
go.
group there? Was the other group in Japan already? A two separate group, you know, was that other group in Japan?
But
That's
coach,
The other
question.
group was
Somebody
there
was
already.
coach, you know what is so strange? According to the story from other sources, or from what we knew prior. From what we knew prior, there was another group there, but the agent is saying that there was nobody there.
Yeah, but
That's
regardless,
that's what I said. That's what I read in the article.
regardless, if the other group is there, like how that matter? Don't they have to quarantine or something when they land, or what happened?
But
They can
Dimo, it
just
still
come out
matter
and
if they're there or not, you know, because all right, if the tour cancel, right? Why you would waste the time to go to Japan if the first match cancel and all of
listen.
that?
I agree that they did the right thing by not sending the guy there by himself. You know, them man here attack me say, I'm
No,
mad
it
this
can't be the
man.
No,
wrong
man,
thing,
we're not
agent.
attack your boss. We're not attacking. We just respectfully disagree. We're not attacking.
The tour isn't cancelled either. The tour isn't cancelled because the Serbia game is being played in Japan. No,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, but
Serbia
halftime,
game
tell
is
her the
being
truth.
played
Tell her
there,
the truth. When I hear that the
and
game
the other
cancelled.
games being played there. So 2 of the games are still being played there. And the person in the comment section saying New York and Japan is different. Yeah, I understand, but I'm not talking about the actual language outside of the airport. I'm just saying the only thing to bear in mind was you getting on a plane and traveling there. Because in both cases, there's someone dropping you off and someone receiving you. All right, so just to clarify that, it's not coming out and going through the language barrier, because regardless of the airport you go throughout the entire world, it is easy for you to find where you're going as it relates to getting through immigration, getting your bag, and that sort of stuff. Because I've been to a number of countries in Europe, Croatia, Belgium, France, all those countries I've been to. I'm only versed in French, and I was still able to find my way through. So, McGee, he has
technology helps with that 2.5
yeah,
time.
and he's been to a number of countries to represent in the national team. I'm pretty sure it's even more difficult to go through Saudi Arabian countries like these than even to Japan, because Japan is more receptive to persons coming from English-speaking countries. Because if we are to be honest with ourselves, a lot of Jamaicans are currently in Japan teaching or even working.
That's true.
You get me? So they're more receptive and more open to English-speaking side of the world. So I'm pretty sure it is not as difficult as we may perceive it to be for McGee to find his back in the airport. And
almost every country can accommodate travelers and tourism and English speakers, almost every country. But the speculation that someone is actually there to pick him up, though, I don't agree with that, because if he's in the airport for 3 days,
yes, man,
he'll be frustrated in the airport for 3 days, and the team learning that some people weren't able to travel on their test. Remember that Tariq got the go-ahead to go, you know. So he was aware that some persons did not get the go-ahead to go. And Japan is so far from Europe, or halfway around the world. For him, go Japan, and him not sure to verify if anyone is there waiting to pick him up. The agent have to be quick thinking right there and say, all right, it don't really make no sense about to go Japan now. But I agree with coach that they should have contacted the JFF. They should have contacted the JFF, you know. But if you're in the airport for 3 days.
Boss, it appears as if individuals were there to pick up Ravel and my boss, the man, Mariapa.
No, but that was after, you know. That was way after. Yeah. That was after.
But my thing is, Maggie would have went to Belgium, right? And he would have been there in a foreign country with a different language by himself. He has done that before. He has been there and done that already. And he did that as our 18-year-old. Right now, the man is a big man. The man most capable of handling himself in Japan by himself.
What I'm saying to Formula is that based on what I'm saying, based on what I've heard also, Blair Turgot was there and he had the current test. Why not send? Wouldn't it be more feasible and less financially constrained to send them to Japan rather than send them back and then book another flight to bring them back to Japan? Wouldn't that be a better thing to do rather than to send them back and have a man waiting at airport? Did the other delegation knew that Tyreek was at the airport for 3 days? These are questions that we should ask.
That's the problem. No, that's the issue. You know? Lack of communication. It's lack of communication. That's the real issue.
A question was asked also saying, our statement was made saying he didn't want to quarantine for 2 days. He didn't want to quarantine for 2 weeks. Yeah, sorry. So
in Belgium, if he went back to Belgium.
Yeah. So
it was actually smart on his part not to go back to Belgium, you know. It was actually because that would have ruined our chances of him being able to play the friendlies down in Japan if he had gone back to Belgium and had to do the 2-week quarantine.
So
by the way, I saw a comment. Somebody saying you have to remember that who Tariq McGee's agent is. You got. I'm just joking. It's just an interesting comment. But.
I don't know why my laptop they comment them now coming. Them are coming now way after, man. I don't know what happened.
It kind of baffles me though to know that a decision like that was made. And I still want to know if the JFF people them did know other than the agent would just make a decision. And why would he come out to take responsibility for what happened? If the other section of the delegation knew about it at the time. I don't know. Me kind of Me probably different.
So will
I wouldn't
Maggie
make
be
that decision.
joining the team? Will Maggie be joining the team in Japan?
It doesn't look so.
From what I've heard, it doesn't look so.
Exactly. So
Because
now
why wouldn't he go when Mariapa and something that was going and Ravel was going? If it were the intention was to bring him back. So you see, it you're trying to save. It is like a child going to his father in another parish or country, going for spending $1,000 to go for $500. If you understand what I'm saying. So Maggie
That
end up
happened
come
all
home
the
and him now end up go play the match.
That happened all the time. Yes, I agree with what you're saying, coach. But me personally think I just break down in communication because all of that happens so fast. Before we know it, the first news come out that Tariq Magee not going to Japan, then we hear some reach at Jamaica. If me then at airport for 3 days and then me go back at Jamaica instead of going Japan, that I want next halfway around the world, then we go left Jamaica again, go Japan. We speculating that he's in Jamaica then.
Yeah,
you not traveling that I go jet lag all of that and then if you come to Japan now, I'm not going to meet the training session.
Yeah, it don't make no sense him go back.
Boss, it never happened.
So that's why I'm saying the best thing to do. That's why I was saying the best thing to do is to take the risk by sending him to Japan. That would have been the better risk to take.
It never happened. It never happened quickly. The man was there for almost 3 days sleeping in the airport. It never happened quickly. So it wasn't like they were in a haste and had to make a decision that was rushed. So
But this thing, guys, I don't know if the Reggae Boyz have the money or the Federation have the money to travel, the team travel together. Meaning, we know a player that coming from all across the world. Normally, what American, England, all of these teams, what they did to come and meet up in one country and the team travel as one, right? I don't know if the Federation have that money to do that too. Charter a private jet, charter a private plane. I don't know, but this thing in this pandemic is going to be very tough. And I have doubt this. I probably think this is going to happen again. It's not going to be the first time. We have to travel to Mexico, United States, all of these countries to play World Cup qualify, to play Gold Cup. This is not going to be the first we're going to have this problem, you know, because I think this is just simple, easy, 1, 2, 3. Communication is key. For a relationship to go in good, it's have to have a good communication.
Here's the thing. I think what you said makes perfect sense, but we have to bear in mind as well the timing of these games. Because a lot of the players, because generally, if you pay attention to previous instances, the players usually they have a small camp, and then after the little camp, then the traveler they go wherever they're going to play. So these games, the championship recently finished. There wasn't enough time for players to gather, or if you're saying probably meeting at a central point, maybe in Europe or whatever, probably it's cheaper for them to fly straight from the UK or to fly from Norway or to fly from wherever, Belgium, to go straight to Japan rather than for them to go from Belgium to meet at somewhere else again to go. And also the connecting aspect of it, because we might just say, okay, it's easy for them to just meet up at a central point in route then while on their travels, and then everyone goes in as a unit. But connecting gets you even more jet lagged than actually being on the plane, because coming out and finding where you're supposed to go and then getting together again, that a lot of times when you travel, you know, it's the connecting part of it that gets you tired and exhausted. Because if you're just sitting on the plane until you get to your destination, sometimes you don't even realize that you're there already. You get me? So yeah, that's one.
You might just want to get up and stretch your legs.
Yep. So that's why I'm taking into that.
It would be more difficult for them to travel together in terms of logistics, as Halftime said. But when they're in Jamaica traveling to the US, it should be easier because everyone will be already in camp. So we shouldn't have that much of that problem. But no, I really understand why, because the players scattered all over Europe and in North America. So for example, someone from the USA, it's going to be hard for them to connect with the people from Europe because they would have to be waiting in the airport for 3 days for those players to reach. So things like that are difficult for them to travel.
So that's what I'm saying. Like going into a major tournament, no. Like for example, the Gold Cup. These players would have been camped for like 2 weeks prior or a week and a half, especially now that most of the leagues are out. They'll be camped, they'll be training and that sort of thing. So whenever it's time for them to travel, then they'll be traveling as a unit. But no, some leagues finish before others. So it's difficult to get everyone in the same place at the same time, especially since it's on the other side of the world. If I'm coming from the UK to Jamaica, that's a 9-hour flight, and then to leave from Jamaica to go. You get what I'm saying? So the logistics aspect is a little bit tricky, tied in with the time of the year that the game is being played and the proximity to the completion of the various leagues that they play in.
Like the MLS, I think MLS is still being played now. That's why Andre Blake can't get to go.
Direct flight from. Can't you get a direct flight from England to Japan?
You should be able to get a direct flight from England to Japan. But again, like
wouldn't it be more easier to do that?
People are but people are paying attention to costs, because the direct flight will run you closer to probably like $2,000 or thereabout. However, you can probably get a connecting flight for like $1,200, $1,300, because whenever you cut out the connection, you find that it gets way more expensive, because the Asians are packing up on their plane and they're going across it. They don't want to connect. So most of the people who are connected,
it's just cost cutting.
Exactly. So it is what it is.
Yeah, guys, let's move on, because listen, I don't want my show to clash with coaches next, because we have to go over the triple cheat. That's a big show, so
time is real, man.
So
what time do you start, coach?
7 o'clock, man. What time? You know that, man? 7 o'clock.
7 p.m.
7. So that will be 8 p.m. our time.
Yeah, it's 7 in Canada, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's 7 now. So yeah, people are saying, "Oh, Ryan, we don't want the show to clash." So anyway, let's talk about the game, guys. What can we expect from this Reggae Boyz team? They has been in our camp for 3 to 4 days now, and a Serbia team. When you look at the Serbia team, 2 or 3 are a few stars missing. What should we expect, Demo J, from this Reggae Boyz team?
When you say 3 or 4 of them stars missing, what do you mean?
Savic and Jovic are missing from Serbia team.
Yeah,
it's a lot more than 3.
Yeah, it's a few.
I think Tadic missing too. Tadic,
Mitrovic, Vlahovic, Milinkovic, Savic, Kostic, a couple others. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head.
Well, if that's the case, because I didn't even know that. I was expecting Mitrovic to be there. I didn't know what happened to Mitrovic. I have no idea.
Initially, he was in the squad in a in pull out from report.
Okay. I didn't know that. Well, in that case,
I had him in.
Yeah, exactly, right. Well, in that case, from a Jamaican perspective, I mean, for me, I had us losing all the games, even against the under-24 team. I had us losing. Listen, I'm just being realistic. So for me, I think the Jamaican team needs a lot of time to gel. And I'm not talking about just gelling in training and stuff, but actually playing games together competitively. And the Serbia team, from what we'd have seen in previous games, they would have already have a team that's settled. But now with all of these people pulling out and stuff, I don't know what to expect from the team when it comes on to that. I think the quality that we have in terms of the Jamaican team is good enough to compete. And with this team right now, because of all the people that they say pull out, I think we have enough to compete. But I don't see us having enough to win the game, because regardless of what Serbia team you pick, you know that with Serbia, they're very organized and they will defend with their lives. So I don't expect it.
Mute your mics, gentlemen.
Who?
Just when the guy is not talking, just mute the mic. Getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah, so I'm not expecting a bag of goals, especially from Jamaica's side. But I expect us to get a draw in the game because, like I said, I think we have a lot of quality, and even though we don't play a lot of games competitively, I was saying we're going to lose because of all of the other people that's in the Serbia team, especially Mitrovic, because he's been on fire for the national team. Like, no joke, he has been on fire, and with Jovic and all of these people. So I expect a draw. I mean, we might lose the game, but I'm going to hold out and be patriotic and say Jamaica is going to get a draw from this game. You know, so I'm expecting a draw.
Formula, what do you expect?
Ryan, you want me to give you a list of the players that are out?
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, so Marko Dimitrovic, he is Eibar's starting goalkeeper in La Liga. He had 9 clean sheets in 35 games. You hearing me?
Yeah.
Marko Dimitrovic, he is Eibar's starting goalkeeper in La Liga. He had 9 clean sheets in 35 games for the club that they placed bottom in La Liga. So 9 clean sheets in 35 games for the last place club in La Liga ain't bad at all. And 40% of penalties he saved last season as well. Nikola Milenkovic, he is a starting centre-back for Fiorentina. He's out as well. Milinkovic Savic, you know, big baller. Filip Kostic, he's second in the assist charts in the Bundesliga behind Muller, right? He's out as well. The captain Dusan Tadic, he's out as well. One of the, if not the top player in the Dutch Eredivisie. Luka Jovic is out as well. Nemanja Radonjic, he plays Hertha Berlin on loan from Marseille. He's a start. Well, he gets regular game time for Hertha Berlin. Sasa Lukic, he is a starter, central midfield starter for Torino in Serie A. Ivan Ilic, a central midfielder as well, gets regular game time for Hellas Verona. Uros Racic, a central midfielder, right? Basically a starter for Valencia as well. Dusan Vlahovic, and the top goal scorer, the leading goal scorer of all time for Serbia, Mitrovic. So those are the players that are out.
Wow.
That's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Whole first team.
Whole first team.
I think the all right, go ahead, Formula. When you finish, I think I'll speak.
Yeah, so you know, it's crazy. But even the squad that they have brought to Japan isn't a bad one either, and on paper is definitely better than ours. Look, we'll be sitting back a lot, right, soaking up pressure and trying to improvise on the counter, you know, try and get some chances on the counter. But honestly, that's as far as it goes, man. I seriously, you know, that's the best we can hope for. I think we stand a possibility that we might be able to keep them out because, for instance, the strikers that they have there, while they are prolific in their respective leagues, they are not anywhere near the level of Vlahovic or Mitrovic. Yes, so Liam Moore, if Pinnock was there, I would have definitely said we could keep them out. But I think with Liam Moore at the back, you know, basically calling the shots at the back, I think we could probably stand a chance of keeping them out. At best, we can hope for a draw. More than likely, I still think we're going to lose, though, because we're going to have to surrender the midfield. You know, it's not even, you know, I mean, we probably might try to get some, you know, possession in the midfield, but realistically, we don't see that happening. And we're going to be under a lot of pressure. It's going to be like what took place in the American game. We're going to be under a lot of pressure for the entire minutes, and for the entire 90 minutes, begging and hoping and praying we'll keep them out. One other thing we need to take into consideration as well is that, especially in the midfield, I mean, I mean, from my perspective, it looks like Ravel might start, right? And also, there is no depth in the holding midfield area in terms of the players on the bench are Isaacs, will more than likely be Isaacs, and what's his name again down at Miami FC? Youngster, Casey, Josh and Anglin.
Dean.
Just
think you
more
talk
than
Devon
like
Williams.
more than likely Speedy will start, you know. I think Speedy will start. So even you remember how in the American game things got bad when the substitutes came on, things got even worse. I don't know, man. This one looking
But Formula, in that game against United States, could we say if we put away our 2 chance in the first 67 minutes in the game, it would be a better outcome? Because when you look at the Reggae Boyz team, 2 things, we don't score 2 goals in our match. That always been 1. And we has been lacking scoring goal. We has been locked in scoring goal and we're not creating enough. But in that game against United States, we get at least 2 to 3 chances.
Who create them chances? Andre Gray?
Andre Gray get 2.
Okay.
Morris did get 1 too. And if memory serves right, I think Low, our man of the match Low.
Yeah.
Our top player in the game Low.
In that game, we create chance. If we put away the chances, it would be a different game. When you score first, the game change.
But to be fair, you know, go on, Ryan.
What may I say? I don't like this. It's so much Serbia player missing. I know a lot of player missing out of the Reggae, but it's not going to be. It's just a walk in the park for Serbia over this Jamaican team. I don't think so. I said if we get our chance, we're going to play behind the ball. If we get our chance, we just have to just execute it. Score whenever we get our chance. That's
Ryan,
all I have
to be fair, though, you know, Ryan, in the American game, you know, those were half chances. If my memory serves me right, those weren't even full-blown chances, the chances that you're referring to.
If Mikel Antonio or Kemar Roof or Shaman Nicholson, they will put them chance in the back of the net.
One of them was
Ricardo Morris.
Those are the people who are playing.
Ricardo Morris was a clear chance.
Yes, man. One-on-one with the keeper and him kick it wide, man.
Yes.
After Andre
Ricardo Morris chance.
Yes, that's true. I remember that. That's true.
This team, I've been a long time since I've been disappointed about a team like this squad that has come out. This look like we're going to play Caribbean Cup or something, man. But Serbia ranked in the 20s. Serbia was a part of the Yugoslavia. You know, all them Croatia, all them Slovakia, them team, they're a good team, technically, infrastructure, and them physical like we, so we can use speed and physicality over them, like other teams, maybe Japan. This team is underwhelming. If you look on it and you match them up on paper as way formula say, Jamaica, we get a trashing. If we draw, it's a miracle. That is my opinion.
A trashing.
I don't think we're going to get
training. No, not really trashing, but decent training.
We want to keep it on the schedule because, as you mentioned earlier, coach's show commences in just over 30 minutes. So I'm going to get my opinion in. You can agree, you can disagree, but fine. I did a video on this earlier today. What to expect from Serbia, because a lot of us we pay attention to the Reggae Boyz 9 out of 10 times, but the opponents we don't give that eye or the time of the day. And I mentioned if you know your enemy and you know yourself, you need not to worry about the battles. I keep saying that quote today. It's from The Art of War. All right. Now the Serbia team that we're going to play against, albeit it's missing 12 players, this will still be a quality team. Mind you, remember in 2015, Serbia was under-20 World Cup champions, right? They beat Brazil in the final. So they have a bunch of quality players coming through the ranks, and a bunch of these players, they have gone on to play in the various leagues. Sere Milinkovic-Savic, he was the standout player in that competition, and that's the reason why he's the name that everyone knows today. But there was also a lot of other players who made up that squad, who contributed to the team, who they can call upon. Because the thing with Serbia is they have an organizational structure where when one player comes out, another one comes in. And if we are to be honest with ourselves, throughout the years, Serbia has always produced strikers who can finish. Formula Sport, he alluded to Vlahovic. Vlahovic scored 21 goals in Serie A this season for Fiorentina, right? And he is 21 years old. So this is the person they are going to bring in now to replace Alexander Mitrovic, right? Because he's playing on the bench. As soon as Mitrovic is out, because we know Mitrovic is in his 30s. As soon as Mitrovic is out, then Vlahovic will come in. Luka Jovic, it's the same thing. Real Madrid got him up from Frankfurt. His time at Real Madrid, wasn't so great. They sent him back to Frankfurt. We know Andre Silva has been phenomenal at Frankfurt this season. So he hasn't played that much. I think he got only 4 or 5 goals for the Bundesliga season. But regardless, he's still a quality player. Now, if we are to assess this 3 players, so it would be Mitrovic starting, Jovic behind him in close second, and then Vlahovic. These are 3 quality strikers, that can walk into any team, any top 5 team across Europe right now, You get me? And this is the case throughout most of the position in Europe, in Serbia's national team right now. They have Savic, who plays for Atletico Madrid. He's their outright centre half. He's the main man there. He controls everything. And he has a bunch of other youngsters next to him. Milinkovic Savic, his younger brother, is a goalkeeper as well in this national team. Both of them were at the 2018 World Cup as well. So because their main goalkeeper isn't there, that doesn't mean the goalkeeping position is weakened. Because Savic isn't there, doesn't mean the defending position is weakened. Because what's his name isn't in midfield, Milinkovic Savic, it doesn't mean the midfield position is weakened, because they still have Guedel, who was a starter for Sevilla throughout the entirety of the La Liga season. And this player that I'm mentioning to you is a quality player, right? So we might say, okay, this is a weakened team, but still they're probably like 2 or 3 notches above anything we got. And if we were able to get even 2 of the players of the quality that they have now, albeit a weakened Serbia team in our team, then we would be moving boundaries. So having said all that, going into this game, I think the Reggae Boyz will lose, but I'm predicting a 2-1. I think the Serbian team, they're extremely dynamic. If Dusan Tadic plays, he likes having the ball at his feet. He has remarkable delivery, and as such, Mitrovic thrives. Our defenders would have relished the challenge of a Mitrovic in the air, because most of our defenders, they like physical battles and that sort of thing. They're good in the air as well, as you mentioned, to Moore and Pinnock and Damian Lowe. These are all good players in the air. So they would have enjoyed that battle against Mitrovic, but Mitrovic won't play. So Serbia will offer something different again. And as I alluded to, the dynamism of their team, because of the structural competencies that they have straight through from the grassroots up until the senior level. So they are the better team. They are the favorites. And I think they will win 2-1.
Half time. You said that they will release the challenge of Mitrovic. Remember, Mitrovic was playing in the championship last year, and they have problem. The whole championship have problem with Mitrovic. Don't play good last year, but
listen, Mitrovic hasn't played 3 full matches for Fulham this season. So if we are to be honest with ourselves, the Mitrovic in the championship last season isn't the Mitrovic of the Premier League, because he's been struggling with fitness. He isn't sharp. The games that I saw him, he wasn't sharp. And going into international duty, he will be trying to recoup that form that he had last season.
We could say the same for Hector. We could say the same for Hector.
But
listen,
I don't argue with it, but what I'm saying is the defenders that we have, a weakened Mitrovic, they would have enjoyed that challenge. And Mitrovic isn't playing, so there will be a different dynamic to it, because Mitrovic isn't playing.
Yeah, man, I take that point. It's not the argument, because they're not really there right now still. So,
Mitrovic is a championship player. He's a championship striker.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He banged it in the league.
I wouldn't agree with that.
He was good in the Premier League before the winter. If you're to remember correctly, when Andre Schürrle moved to Fulham he was there at Fulham, and he and Andre Sherlock formed a formidable partnership in that. Yeah, and he was banging in goals left, right, and center. At one point, I was wondering why Chelsea wasn't even going out. I think there was rumor one time saying Chelsea wanted to get him in January for somewhere around £12 million. And I was wondering why Chelsea wasn't going out to get him. And then Chelsea ultimately got Oliver Giroud a season or so after. So he is a quality player. On his day, he's unplayable.
One question.
When he went down to Fulham, it was widely said, when he went down with Fulham down into the Championship, it was widely said that he was a Premier League player.
Remember he played at Newcastle. At Newcastle, and it was great at Newcastle.
And he had some good goal scoring seasons in the Premier League. He had some good goals, especially for Newcastle.
Halftime said he expect Jamaica to score 1 goal. Where the goal is going to come from? That's what I want to know.
Okay. With the Jamaica, we find a lot of our goals come from set plays, right? Serbia, in the last 10 games that they've played, there has been 3 red cards, 2 of which went to Serbian players, right? It shows that the players, they play on the edge. So if we are able to protect the ball properly, we're expecting to get a lot of fouls from them whenever we get the ball. So we have good players who can score set plays. I think we can get something from a set play.
Okay, understood. That's how we always play still, but when you say 2-1, I think you really mean, just speculate that you mean that a striker would get it, but I understand, Jamaica always do well on set plays. Jamaica always
I can't, because the thing is, the Serbian team is very, very technical. Their midfielders, if you go through the years, the midfielders that they produce, from Nemanja Matic, all these players, they are extremely technical with the ball at their feet. Right, so I don't expect us to thrive in midfield. They also play 3-5-2, which means they're going to outnumber us in midfield because Jamaica plays 4-2-3-1 more often than not. If we are to try and go head to head with them or toe to toe with them, we're going to lose, and we're going to lose really, really bad. So we play to our strengths and respect what they're capable of. We stand a chance of keeping the score respectful.
I would respectfully disagree though with the set piece statement, because the Serbian team, if you look at them, they're a massive team. They're a massive team, and you know what's a scary thing about?
But size doesn't really have much to do with set pieces, does it?
It plays a major factor. It does play a major factor.
Organization plays more of a factor than size when it comes to set pieces. And especially since this is they don't have the main man in Savage organizing the back. I expect us to get a sneak at it. Go ahead.
Isn't Savage? I don't think Savage is Serbian.
Yeah, Savage is Serbian. Savic had plays for Atletico Madrid. He's Serbian.
He scored 2 on us, man. He scored 2 on Liverpool in the Champions League.
But one thing, Jamaica is exceptionally good at set pieces, though, I mean, like, we have a track record for scoring set pieces. People don't like defending set pieces against Jamaica, especially with man like Taxi Lawrence, and even Rudolph Austin, them, Luton Shelton. We always have a history, a record of people that can put the ball in the back of the net from a set piece. We have Liam Bailey now, but he's not playing this much. But Ravel Morrison, man like Junior Fleming, we could have set pieces. So if that's the rhetoric that halftime have, we can understand why himself might get a goal.
Do the Serbians concede many goals from set plays?
As what
halftime said, it's not really about
and as I said before, if we understand them and are respectful to them, because Scotland, right? Scotland edged them for the Euro spot. Scotland is ranked 44, Jamaica is ranked 45. They held them off to a 1-1 draw and then forced it into penalties, in which Scotland ultimately won. Now, what I alluded to about respecting the opponents and understanding that, okay, this is what they bring to the table, but this is what we bring. So trusting in your ability, not trying to play Serbia's game. That will suit Jamaica. And the Reggae Boyz will have the best opportunity if they take this approach.
Yeah, see, their boss Savic is from Montenegro.
I agree with this comment.
But it's not the same. No, man. Montenegro is a different country now.
Yeah,
It
they
used to
broke
be the
up. They
same.
broke.
Yeah,
They broke up in 2006. So he chose to play for Montenegro. Okay,
Yeah,
no
man.
take.
Because Yugoslavia keep on splitting. 2 years from now, they might have a different country. So we can't really follow it up like that until we verify.
No, I don't think it will break again because what happened? They split into five. So it was Kosovo, Macedonia, North Macedonia, Serbia, and Montenegro, Croatia. So they
And
split
Kosovo
Serbia
just
and
get
Montenegro.
independent like 2018. Trust me,
Right.
you don't know the region here. A lot of things happening.
Admittedly, when I do remember now, halftime, you are correct. The Serbians aren't the best at organizing. Of the yeah, to be honest with you, when I think
Not
about
all
it
the
now, you
time.
are correct. Yeah. Their positioning sometimes they lose track of runners as well and stuff like that. So I'll give you that. To be
I
fair,
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
a
if you
fair.
we
remember
saw it in the World Cup too. We saw it in the World Cup. We saw them in the World Cup, and that was one of the major incompetencies in the team because when we went through, we were like, okay, these guys are so good technically, but they lose concentration at key points during the game, and you're like, okay, how can you allow this to happen? You get me? So it is what it is. I think we can get something from a set play. If we try to play the ball on the ground and to play it through them, you won't get much
Yeah.
from that because
Yeah.
they love those kind of games.
Yeah.
Which
We
is so
definitely,
paradoxical, yeah.
we definitely can't match up with them.
But every
Marco
team,
Cruz feeling it.
as we have time said though in the formula, every team has a weakness, and if we can pinpoint that
Yeah, man.
weakness and work
Yeah,
at
man.
it, we can get a chink in the armor though.
Even Ireland, they did concede a goal like that, you know, in terms of if memory serve me right, if memory serve me right, it was off a free kick, but what happened? They played it wide and then crossed it into the box, and the positioning wasn't so great, and they did concede.
Let me go there and say this. Mitrovic is one of their main defenders from set pieces, right? And Mitrovic isn't playing, and he is their central striker. So
Yeah, good point.
So
Yeah. I agree with
they
that.
utilize his strength both in both boxes, and he won't be in this team. And with his experience and his expertise in these situations, I think they will make up. Okay,
Well,
all right.
I'm not sure if we touched on this before because I came in halftime, but how did you guys line up the team in terms of the personnel that steer in Japan?
You mean in terms of
We didn't
Who
pick
we
a
have
team.
available?
I think
We don't pick the team as yet. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow on that.
Okay.
Same time, 5 p.m. Jamaican time. So yeah, we're going to just talk about the game. We're going to do a lineup tomorrow. But as I said, most of you guys say the Jamaica not going to win. Let us see. But what can we yeah, whenever we're not speaking, mute the mic. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to see this game. I believe with so much player out for the Serbian team. Yes, they are a very good team, but we have Ravel Morrison. We have to take a little bit of positive from the Saudi Arabia game where Ravel Morrison made the Jamaican midfield look better. That's the way Jamaica cannot keep the ball. And whenever Ravel play, we see him in the Saudi game, the midfield, the Reggae Boyz midfield look much better. You know, you have some good player who just make other player better around them. That's Ravel Morrison. He can have a lot of impact on the game against the Serbia team.
but Saudi Arabia is a totally different kettle of fish than that to Serbia. I in the video I did earlier today, I mentioned that we have come up against good opposition in the past few years, the likes of Mexico, who's ranked in the teens, and we've come up against the United States. But it's going to be different from what we've been accustomed to, because most of the teams that we've been playing against are either from South America, Central America, that sort of thing. That's where we get most of our friendlies. And these teams, they're hustling teams. The United States of late has been sending a lot of their players to Europe to develop on the technical aspect of it. Now, these are players who have honed the technical side of the game from the grassroots coming all the way up. So I hope the Reggae Boyz, they can use this as a learning experience as to how they can improve on their personal game. Because I'm not going into this game with a lot of expectations, but there are positives to be taken because going up against these players, they won't be the marquee players in the Serbian squad, but there will still be technically sound players who our players can learn from. Ravel Morrison, he hasn't been playing at the highest level for some time now, and I know he will be good. They say game recognizes game. So whenever he goes into this game, he will be looking forward to the challenge of whoever it is that Serbia will be sending out. And with Gidel at the heart, I know it should be fun and interesting for him, especially for him sharpening his game going into the Gold Cup.
Yeah, most definitely. But what I really looking forward to see, Formula, not to just get a result. If we can get a result, that is a plus for the Reggae Boyz. If we can get something, it's a plus. But what I really want to look forward to see, guys, is a team togetherness. That's all I want to see. Player playing the right position. That's when the Gold Cup come around, tell you know what. Some of these players were in the team. They need to fight for them game. They need to prove that they deserve to be in the team. Come couple weeks from now, the Gold Cup squad is 26. It's going to be 26 or 25. So some of these players were in the team. I don't think they're going to make it, but this is their opportunity to say Theodore Whitmore, we show you enough that we can get a part in the national team. That's what I'm looking for. Not to see us to get a result, but to see how the team chemistry, if we can build a chemistry. That's more important to me.
Yes, Ryan, I agree with you partially. I'm not really looking for a result in this game. I think this game going to be exciting. We said Ravel in the midfield and all that, and we're going to have a good, entertaining game. What I'm really looking forward to seeing is how Dylan Barnes cope with the team, because it's the first time we're going to play the team. We want a good second for Andre Blake, even a good number one choice, because what if he's even better? But that's what I really want to see, how the new players come in, how they perform. That's what we can pick the solid squad for the Gold Cup. I have good news and I have worse news, but it's the same news. Watching the Nation League, US bring their match all the way to way in the 90 minutes and they score 1 goal of Honduras. And Mexico carried their match to penalties against Costa Rica.
Yeah.
This is good and bad in that all of these teams are in the octagon. It's either USA is not as good as we thought, or all these teams are so impressive, they're on the same level. So Jamaica have to up the game.
I you know, when I was watching the games last night, I was saying the same exact thing to myself. I think that it's actually, especially the US game, I think it's more reflective on the Hondurans' performance than it is the Americans. In terms of, I don't think the Americans were that bad. I just think the Hondurans were really good. They kind of surprised me a bit, just a little bit, in terms of just how well they matched up against the Americans. What I'm looking for and by the way, the other game too with Costa Rica and Mexico is very competitive as well. Very competitive as well. Those two games kind of scared me a little bit, because CONCACAF really, really tough. Really
and
tough.
you know the thing, go for it, continue, Formula.
So yes, Ryan.
What a lot of people don't realize with this USA team, they are good, but they don't have the experience like Jamaica have the experience.
They are young.
Costa Rica have the experience, Honduras have the experience. And when CONCACAF team come up against each other, people think it's going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be very, very, very close. So the margin are very, very, very small. So for me, it's not going to be a runaway for the Mexico or the United States. Yes, on talent, on paper, they are cut above the rest. The Panama, the Costa Rica, the Jamaica. They are cut above the rest. But when we go out and play on the field, it's a totally different ball game. That's what I really love about CONCACAF. No one is a walkover in CONCACAF. Everything going to be tough. People have to fight for them spot. Up to the same El Salvador, 80 when they come up against in the Gold Cup. He has to grind out result.
Yeah, but I mean, a couple of things I want to see Exactly. See it on the screen there. I would like to see how Kevin Lambert looks. I also really want to see how Ravel Morrison looks. I want to see how Low and Moore looks. And finally, I really and truly don't want us to get embarrassed. That's the main thing I'm looking for in this game. That we can keep the scoreline down. That's the main thing that I'm looking for in this game, because it's not gonna do us well if we get embarrassed, right? You have to remember even FIFA rankings and all of those sort of stuff, right? If we get embarrassed 2 games in a row, I mean, surprisingly, we moved up the rankings the last time around, but if we get embarrassed 2 games in a row, I don't think we'll be moving up the rankings, right? So that's the main thing for me. I don't want us to get embarrassed, and I don't want us to slip out of the top 50.
Yeah,
Question
most
though.
definitely.
Question.
But just
Before
a
we.
second. Well, on
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
halftime guys, remember to smash the like button, guys. We have over 80 of you guys in it. Get the video to 100 likes, guys. Smash the like button, it's important. And that link where you see in the comment section, guys. I want you really to go and give Halftime TV some support. Go and subscribe. Let's get into 500 subscribe. Just hit on that link, guys, in the comment section. It's very important. And also we have Formula Sports too, guys. Make sure you guys go and check out Formula Sports. That's the name for Formula Sports. Type it in on YouTube and you will see. It's important. Palmer don't have a YouTube channel. He's just more a person who love to talk about the game, but he haven't have a YouTube channel. So Formula Sports and Halftime TV, guys. Make sure you guys go and check them out. Please, I'm begging you guys. Go for it now, Halftime TV.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah. Where was that? Yeah. The last few games that the Reggae Boys has played, we have been going into those games trying to keep the scores down. It's more about we don't want to lose rather than how much are we going to win by. So I think it says a lot about where the team is at, because we have the players, we have some really good players on our roster. But do you think is it the opposition that we've been playing against, or is it just us not setting ourselves up for disappointment? Because oftentimes we go into games expecting a great deal and then we're left disappointed. So is it protecting our emotions, or is it the reality of the situation?
I think
That's
it's the first
easy
thing that we
half
have.
time. Yeah, no,
I
you know
think
what it is? You know what it is, boss? Is our failure to put together our best squad. That is the
Simple put.
reason.
Simple put, because
That is it.
if we have 10 people out there defending and a false 9, you can't expect to get goals. But at first, when the match started off, you're going to expect somebody to score goals to come from somewhere, but you don't know where that goal will come from. When you go behind 1-0, it's all right, we're still going to push for one. We don't have an out-and-out striker. When you go 2-0 now, we have people capable to defend. So what will happen is everybody will go behind the ball, and that's how Jamaica approach most of the games. I try to see if they can get some from somewhere, some mysterious place. If that don't work out, plan B, everybody behind the ball because we have good defenders. That's how Jamaica play. But with the personnel that we have now, with I hear that Mikel Antonio coming back in with Leon Bailey and with Nicholson and the core players, the A team, we should be a very comfortable side in CONCACAF in qualifying for the World Cup and in winning the World Cup. Not going to the final, in winning the World Cup, everybody coming in, gelling with the quality of the team. I know it's not played on paper, as someone mentioned, but with the quality of these players. And we Jamaicans different. We know ball game. If we're good enough, we can beat them.
The same person who mentioned football isn't played on paper. It is played on the day, and on the day you need to be cohesive. And this team is as far from it as anything I've seen. So the opposition that we've been playing against, not only are they better on paper, but they're also better as a unit because they've been together, they've gelled together, they understand how each other play. With the chopping, as Formula mentioned, not putting out our best team because it's always changing parts or moving parts. these teams, they have structural organization that know that, okay, if Ryan LFC is out, Formula is coming in, and Formula will give you the same job. If Formula is out, Norando is going to come in, or Halftime TV, and they're going to give you the same job. You get me? So it's basically just putting square pegs into square holes rather than trying to fit round pegs into square holes on the given day. So football isn't played on paper, fully agree. It is played on the day, and it has a lot to do with cohesion that the Reggae Boyz team is lacking and has been lacking for some time.
But boss, I want to say something quickly. You talk about when we get the squad, together. We're still having I'm not so sure about this gentleman's name right here, but we still have issues in the midfield, boss. Midfield need work, brother.
Yep. Yeah, we haven't found the correct personnel for the midfielders yet, and with midfielders as well. I think we do you mean our field core players? We'll get to that afterwards. I think with midfielders, it's the same as defenders. Defenders, the defensive pairings, they oftentimes they stay the same throughout the season or halfway through the season because it's a partnership. It's the same thing that happens in midfield. You have a partnership, one understands the other, and then the team moves forward as a unit based on what happens there. We don't have that in midfield. We haven't found that player as yet, or that pairing to say, okay, this is what is going to take us to the next level, or this is what's going to take us forward to be competitive as a unit. So we're still searching, but hopefully they will find it, and then a few games together we can tick that box as well.
Because it makes absolutely no sense. We all have this. We have all of this. Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. We have all of this attacking power up front, and we're struggling to get the ball to them, Don't make no sense. Don't make no sense.
And that's the same reason why you can't say football don't feel on paper, because you have to pencil in all of this on paper, conceptualize how we're gonna go about going forward. Because if you have only attacking midfielders, no defensive-minded midfielder, you're gonna have a problem on paper before you even touch the pitch, because it's not only who you put out there and you say, all right, just put 10 forward and play on paper, but on paper you have to know, say, no, 10 forward not gonna work. This is not the 30s or the 40s. This is 2021 now, where you have to have tactics on paper before you go out there and execute them.
Yeah, and not only defensive-minded paper first. Yeah, and it's not only about defensive-minded midfielder. It's about finding that cog that can link defense to midfield and can link midfield to strikers as well. So we need someone in the middle to pair the two. So if it's a defenders, this person should be able to collect the ball from the defenders and then distribute the ball successfully towards our attacking players, rather than cutting out the midfield completely, as we've seen lately with a lot of the Jamaican teams, cutting out the midfield completely and then launching it long from the defenders to the strikers and hoping that they latch onto it and we can scrabble something from it. I'll go in the midfield with Milinkovic-Savic. Milinkovic-Savic won't be playing Tyree. Milinkovic-Savic is out. I guess the players are on vacation.
Yeah, in terms of connecting the defensive play to the attacking play, I think we have players capable of doing that, but as I said, the chemistry not gel as yet, because of what I see from Ravel and Daniel Johnson so far, it look like they have the capability in bringing out the ball from defense and fashioning attack, or laying it off to attacking-minded player. What I'm talking about, the defensive-minded player now. When you have that player playing the deep role, or two of those attacking-minded players playing there, there's no balance there. So if you break that line, you just leave the defense open. So you have to have balance and counterbalance as well.
True. And again, it comes to understanding. So if one person is going to stay, one person needs to go. If you can't have two going forward, or you can't have two staying at all times. So it's understanding, and understanding comes with playing together. So because you don't just throw them into a team and hope it works. That's not how it works. And we hear managers complain about, okay, we didn't have a preseason, or we didn't have that. And these are cases, the key cases in point why they mention instances like these. like preseason, because they want if a new player comes in, they want to ensure that this player has at least 4 or 3 weeks, which we don't have now, but at least 8 to 10 days then to play next to that person, whether it be every day in training. You guys probably have played before. When you're training, you have the A team, you have the B team, one in the blue bib, one in the orange bib, and they know that, okay, this is the team that's going to start. These two players are going to be playing together every day or all the games that we have, bar an injury or something. So once we keep this, but it's not happening though, Michael. That's a point that Formula made. It's not happening.
But my thing, even my thing is again the CDM position, right? Do we have a player that can be a good pivot for us? I don't think so. I don't think we have a player that can evade the press and get the ball to more attacking minded players. I don't think so. Our number 6 position is weak.
Vacant.
Well, social media talking about the Kevin Stewart in the process of joining the team. As I say, the chemistry won't really build in the Jamaican squad, because Jamaica, what we know of Jamaica is that regardless of the stage of the competition, we're always going to be incorporating new players, and that's been to our detriment in the past. So if we hear tomorrow that random player X are going to join Jamaica because they're playing in X club, he might come tomorrow if he can, and it don't have anything to do with the chemistry, because we're going to use the name player regardless of the structure we have. And when they bring in players, they're not bringing in a one player, they bring in even 3 players within the one window. That's how JFF operate. So you're not going to have any time to build the chemistry, which are major component. Even no matter how good the player is, without chemistry, their effectiveness will be reduced by at least 20%.
No, you have a point. Nobody's disagreeing with you. The only thing is that when you spoke, you say you think we have the personnel. I just respectfully disagreed with regards to the number 6 position. That's all. But you have a point.
No, the personnel, sorry. No, man, we agree, man. I just miscommunication. I would just agree that we are the personnel to carry out the ball and distribute it, not the stopping and breaking up play. We don't have anyone like that, and that's the problem. We have.
You know what? Go on.
So we have people that can distribute the ball. That's what I said. But we don't have a defensive-minded player that can break up and even do the 2 roles. What we really need to know is somebody that can break up the play and fashion it out of the defense. We don't have that at all.
And you spoke about Kevin Stewart. I was telling our boss that was on earlier, I am not a fan of Kevin. Like, in terms of, look, from a depth standpoint, he would be decent, right? And I think he can be good from a pivoting standpoint, from the perspective of evading the press. But the problem with Stewart is when him sets up, because he's good on the ball, I'll give him that. When him sets up and evade the press, him always give away the ball with a wayward pass anyway. So it never make no sense. It don't ever make no sense him bother evade the press anyways.
And that's where I agree with your formula sport. That's where I agree with it. You take 2 different mindsets. So you have to have an excellent player to combine that. We have players that can break up the ball, but break it up and give it away. And we don't need somebody that will break it up and just give it away immediately because the side can beat us on the counter. What we need is somebody can break up the play, compose on the ball, and fashion it out. What we have now is we have players that won't win the ball. If you give them the ball, they can bring it out, but they won't win the ball. So either way, we're still deficient in that CDM position here.
Yeah.
Guys, the match will play on Monday, and it's going to be 3 a.m. in Jamaica. And if you are in Canada, it's going to be 4 a.m. in Canada. So guys, we'll come to the end of the show. I appreciate you guys. And thank you very much for coming. Coach's Deck's going to be live in the next 9 minutes. So we respect Coach's Deck's and we like that cheapest street there. So whenever Coach's Deck going live, we pay him that homage and that respect. So we want to go over there and give him strength. And you understand, family, because we love the thing and we love the unity, and that we are keep in the blogging thing. You understand? Unity is strength. You get me? But yeah, what do you guys have to say before we run off? Coach going to be live in the next 8 minutes.
Yeah, man, I always admire the fact that the sports blogging community is so united. That's what I admire about sports, where we bring people together. And soon and very soon, we will follow all the major channels and all that. And we just keep in tune, keep supporting Reggae Boyz. Lovely panel. Great to have me on. And yeah, man, big up on yourself after, and big up yourself, family, big up yourself, FC.
Yeah. Mikel Antonio, guys, he signed the contract, so you will see it's a possibility you will see him in the Gold Cup or the World Cup qualifiers. So let us see, but he signed the contract with the JFF, him and Leon Bailey. So the future look bright, guys. Let's get the video to 100 likes, guys. Come on, we have nine more likes, guys. Let's get it to 100. Come on, Reggae Boyz fans. Yeah, what you have to say, Formula, before we took her?
Yeah, man, just thanks for inviting me on and thanks for having me on, man. It's the second time I've been on now, and you know, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure, and you know, these guys are very learned, right? Individuals when it comes to football. So a pleasure talking football with them for sure.
Yeah, guys, viewers, we will be back tomorrow at the same time, 5 p.m. Jamaica time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll be back tomorrow about the starting lineup. So I will be going live. So yeah, tomorrow at the same time. So look out for that. So my fellow co-host, Halftime TV, you guys will see Halftime TV. Sometime even hosting the show. Ryan LFC is not here. So look out for that. Stay tuned. So my brother, what you have to say to the fans before you leave?
All right. Thanks again as usual, Ryan, for having me. We have some very, very good content coming out. 5 reasons why we think the Reggae Boyz can get something out of this game. That should be coming up shortly as well. I did a video earlier today what to expect from the Serbian team. And check out the channel. There's a lot of interesting stuff. I'll be doing a prediction for the Euros, going in the streets to hear what the viewers have to say. And as usual, folks, please remember to leave those comments, because if everyone had the same opinion, this world would be an extremely boring place. So we appreciate all the different opinions. We basically relish it, because then it provides a new avenue for us to look at things. Because you know, sometimes you have something in your mind that, okay, you look at it this way, and without outside influences or without someone else saying, okay, probably take a look at it from this angle, we'll never see it that way. All right, so just leave your comments. They are very, very important to our content and to how we view sports as well, because it provides new insight, always new insight, really. Check out the channel Halftime TV, as Ryan said earlier, on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. There's a bunch of videos on there. If you have anything to say about any of them, let me know. I'll be more than happy to respond to it as well. Over to you, Ryan.
Most definitely. Thank you guys for coming. Guys, make sure you guys click on the link in the chat and go on Halftime TV. Let's get him to 5-1. So there are 57 people on the live. Guys, just lick it. Tariq, Bailey, all of you guys, man, go show some support. Brian. So tomorrow, guys, I will check out where the game will be streaming on. If you guys in Jamaica, you know that where the game will be streaming on Formula Sports.
I know that's the illegal ones, but I don't know the legitimate source.
Just go on.
I think
people, we always just use the pirate internet and just pirate the games. So my time, but if we have a subscription as well, about sometimes you can't get on our subscription, so search internet and you'll find it. If you search hard enough, you'll find it.
At the Net TV, you can't miss it. Oh, and I have an interview. I have 2 interviews coming up. Tomorrow I have Blair Turgot. I'll be interviewing him on Jamaican football on their Instagram. And on Monday I have Tevin Shaw. I'll be interviewing him live on my YouTube channel as well. So you can check those out if you have the time.
Yes, guys. So look out for the content from Halftime TV. As I said, guys, I appreciate you guys coming and checking out the live. Tomorrow will be live at the set time, 5 p.m. Jamaican time. If you are in the America or Canada, it's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern time. So show some support. We love and appreciate the Reggae Boyz and up. Let's hope they can get something from the game, or they can play good You know, sometimes you play good and you lost the game, but at least we play good and not getting a beat down on the nation. For Lord God, coach, with more to go and wait. Just keep it positive and look out, guys. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, from my boy Ryan LFC and Formula Sports and Palmer and Halftime Team. Like this day. Peace out. Thanks for watching.
All
Bless
right,
you.
thanks for having me, folks.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, how are you now, guys? We up to now, man.
I'm
Really
good,
appreciate
man.
it.
I'm good. Yeah, man, no problem. I wasn't so 100% sure if I'd have been able to make it on, but you know, I could find the time, so.
Yeah, at least a day, Bridging. I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. No problem,
So
man.
big
Yo,
game,
Ryan,
big
me
game.
have to cut in a Z, me the work.
Yeah, man, we end the live, man. We end the live.
Alright, cool. Look more tomorrow
Yeah,
again.
man.
Yeah, man. Bless up, man. Cool.
Yeah, Formula. We just want to see the best for the Reggae Boys and stuff, man. That's all I want, the best. You know what I mean? We just hope all of these players coming in, the player them can at least get a 2 week training and match sharpness, and I
Which
want to
players
see
coming in though, Ryan?
all of these players like the Kemar Roof and the Stewart, all of them, Mikel Antoni, Shaman Nichols, all of them put together. Let's hope everyone can come together and think coming a farm, because you can have the name player them, you know, but the chemistry is not there.
Wait, hold up.
You
And
can
somebody
have
else, wait, hold up, Ryan. Somebody else said we're still live. I don't think I did cut it, you know.
Oh yeah? Oh right. Sorry about that. Sorry, Formula. Good thing we not talk no to Yeah, but guys, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, my brother.
Yeah,
man.
Bless up.
Thank
You know, before you said it, I had wondered because me I say, you know, look like you did cut. Yeah, man, it's to see it come up on my phone and I'm up on YouTube. Yeah, man, we're still live, man.
Yeah. But Richard, big up yourself, man. Bishop, big up, man. Big up. Yeah, man, appreciate it, guys, man. Appreciate it, man.
Bless
Thanks
up for that,
telling
man.
me.
Yeah, man.
I really appreciate
Good
it.
looking up, man.
Still have 50 people on the likes. Rima, man. Yeah, always people. Where are you from? Only person know me as that name. I go high school together. Where you from? Big up Liverpool for life. Let me know where you from. You go Excelsior High School? Because anytime I hear this name, I know someone who will go Excelsior High School. I'm just waiting before I end. Oh, Excelsior. Yeah. Appreciate it. You play football for the school, or you just fans or something? I'm still trying to get an Excelsior interview with one of the Jamaican players, so hopefully I get it. But you play football 6. Yeah. I'm waiting for him answer. I always see personal comments, yo, Rima, but
Not like him know you personally.
yeah. Oh, it's just a fan. Okay. Yeah, man. Appreciate it, my brother, man. Enough respect. Make sure you share the content to more Excelsior people and stuff, man. But I really appreciate it, my brother, man. Thanks for the support and stuff. Good to know, yo, me have someone from high school. You know what I mean? Oh, he's a Chucks man. Oh, he's a Chucks man. Big up, man. Big up, Bridget. Big up. Chucks people cool, you know, level-headed. Person say them, know them. So, yeah, man, big up, man. Link me on IG, man. Link me on Instagram and tell me your name and stuff. Link me on Instagram and we can talk. I'm going to end the live. But enough respect for the support and thing. Appreciate it, Bridget. But one love. People head on over to coach's deck. So going over to the coach's decks and now. So coach's deck supposed to 1 minute in him show. So guys, peace out. Thanks for watching.
Him start it.
Yeah, man. My IG, see my IG, yeah, man. You can follow me, see it on the stream. LFC Domination on Twitter, LFC 13. So yeah, peace out, my brother.